Hi everybody, welcome to the information session on Fresh Grade. I'm sorry you weren't able to attend the meeting last week at Frost Road Elementary School to discuss Fresh Grade. I'm happy that you are viewing this presentation now to learn more about this program. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mrs. Cooner and I teach grade 1-2 at Frost Road Elementary School. One of the reasons why I thought it was important to hold the meeting was to share with you why I would like to rethink reporting in Surrey schools. Last year, I was involved in a pilot program called Fresh Grade when I worked at Bear Creek Elementary School. I attended several workshops and tried it out with my class. I saw lots of advantages to the program, and most importantly, my students felt successful. I wanted to share some of those advantages with you. Before I begin, I wanted to share with you that I feel very passionately about this program, and I would not be discussing it today if I didn't believe it would really help your child. The first half of my presentation will be sharing the background of Fresh Grade. At the meeting, the second half of the presentation was actually showing examples and hands-on examples of how it works. Because this presentation is going to be posted online, I will not be able to share student examples at this time. If you are interested after the presentation, I would be happy to set aside a time where we can meet privately and I can share examples and give you some more information. So let's get started. What is the problem? Why should we be rethinking reporting? As a teacher, I want my students to succeed, but due to the number of students and the demanding nature of my job, I sometimes do not have the time to teach all of them individually. As a student, children know they will learn better when they are interested in and involved in their learning. That means taking a step away from teacher-directed learning and more towards student-centered learning. This program helps parents and teachers become partners in learning. As a parent, I know most of you would like to know more about how and what your child is doing in school. What's important here is communication. Like I said before, parents and teachers should become partners in learning. Whatever is happening at school should be shared with you at home. Even though this is a primary class, research tells us that placing a letter grade on everything can negatively impact student motivation and learning. Understanding where a child is at is important, but the emphasis should not be on a percentage or letter grade, because what does that symbol mean anyways? Giving fewer marks and more feedback can actually lead to improved student achievement. It's all about encouraging students to set goals and make improvements to do better at school. Formative assessment is what makes up the Fresh Grade program. It means frequently sharing feedback with students on an ongoing basis so they are aware of what is going on. It is different than summative assessment, which is usually one big test at the end to assess student learning, which is not really fair at all times. Formative assessment includes sharing goals and criteria with students, giving descriptive feedback while they are working toward those goals, and helping students improve through self and peer assessment. A little bit more information about formative assessment so you know what it means. Students know what the learning goals are. In my class, the students and I talk about what the goal is. For example, in language arts, when we are writing in our journal, we talk about our goal, which is to write about our likes and dislikes. Students know what criteria means because we discuss I can statements. For example, the students may be working on a goal, which they may know as I can write a sentence with a capital and a period. I can write a full sentence. I can write a sentence with detail, and I can double check my sentence before I show the teacher. We have conferences in class to discuss feedback and talk about how they can improve, and from there, students can reflect on their work. At this age, it requires a lot of prompting and guidance, but it is possible, and it will only set up these students for success in the future if they start thinking about their learning now. This is a diagram showing what formative assessment looks like. So students know what the learning goals are. From there, the teacher collects and documents evidence. And students think about the feedback they receive and see how they can make improvements, as well as how can the teacher adjust her instruction to make sure the students are learning. The main idea is that we need to be rethinking reporting. BC has drafted a new curriculum for BC students which focuses on the competencies or big ideas in learning rather than a lot of content. Slowly, teachers will start to integrate this into their classroom and make what students need to learn more flexible. Fresh grade is a type of reporting which will include learning goals, also known as the prescribed learning outcomes, which are stated on the child's report card, student voice, which is hearing from students how they think they are doing, evidence of learning, including photographs, videos, audio notes, and teacher comments, and goal setting, which is giving students the opportunity to think about how they can do better. The focus is solely on letter grades if you take a look at this report card, or whether students are exceeding, meeting, or minimally meeting expectations. Based on this report, parents do not know what their children did in class to make the progress they did. This is a big problem because students and parents jump to reading the letter grades or check marks and forget about the comment at top. This comment does not fully describe what a child has done in one full term, because it is very difficult for a teacher to cram in a lot of information within this box to discuss everything that happened in one term. Fresh grade is a tool which allows teachers to communicate with students and parents in a more effective manner. This is an example of a report card on Fresh grade. As you can see, the report card is broken up into subjects and it uses color codes to tell you how the child is doing. Red and orange mean that the student is not meeting. Yellow means that the student is approaching expectations. Green means that the student is meeting expectations, and blue means that the student is exceeding expectations. You will also see that beside each unit of study there are objectives. When they are clicked on, the learning goals are listed for you to see. The goal of this report card is that by the time you receive it, there should be no surprises to what is on there because students and parents are informed. Now, you're probably thinking, how is this different than what we already do now? I use this quick capture app in the classroom to take photos, videos, audio, or notes to capture student learning. Fresh grade is essentially an online portfolio for teachers, students, and parents. Now, if you attended the meeting, you would be able to see a hands-on example of a student portfolio. Again, I would be more than happy to share this with you, as you will be able to see that it is a helpful visual to see where your child is at, as well as it will give you more detailed information which could be attached to the child's report card. It really helps explain what your children are doing in school and also things that you can do at home to help. If you choose to sign up, you will have access to your child's portfolio all year long to see how it is being updated with evidence. This is what it will look like once you log in. As you can see, there is a child's photo as well as evidence of learning. Every 1 to 2 weeks, you will receive a highlight from myself telling you how your child is doing and what you could be doing at home to help. Communicating student learning and getting parents involved is a passion of mine because I think back to my elementary and high school years and I wish that I would have had the same opportunity because often I received grades with no feedback. When this happened, I was forced to just forget about what I learned because it didn't have any significance. I didn't know what I could do better or how I could improve. Fresh grade is a step I am taking to make that change for this class. Thank you for listening.